that I might set up into two different videos. Well, there were two other men who remained in the camp. So these two people aren't elders. These are just two dudes that were just in the camp chilling. And the Spirit actually ended up resting upon them too. And they prophesied within the camp. But a young man ran and told Moses and said, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. Then Joshua, the son of Nun, the servant of Moses, answered, said, My Lord Moses, forbid them. And Moses said, Are you jealous for my sake? Oh, that all the Lord's people were prophets, and the Lord would put his Spirit upon them. And Moses returned to the camp, he and the elders of Israel. So to kind of paint that picture, you got one guy that was not a leader. He saw two people that weren't leaders of Israel prophesying because the Spirit had rested upon them, and he went to go snitch on them to Moses, and Moses rebuked that person, saying, I wish all the Lord's people were prophets. I wish all the Lord's Spirit would rest on all of these people. That I like to make that correlation with Mark chapter 9, verse 38 through 41, because the same thing happened with Jesus. Jesus was sharing his Spirit with his disciples, and then a couple of his disciples came through and said, Hey, you got other people over here casting out demons and doing all these other things in your name. You need to stop them. And Jesus says, why would you stop them? If they're not against you, then they're for us. So they're doing the Lord's work in that sense. But the most profound thing I want to say that I learned from last night's readings is that the giftings of the Holy Spirit and the fullness of his indwelling on each of us since Jesus' sacrifice is dated all the way back into Numbers as well. So that's all I wanted to talk about. Thank you so much for listening, my friends.